All right, you guys. Welcome to the DM and Friends Thursday night live stream. And we're missing one person, which is Chris Clark, but I'm sure he'll trickle in here after he gets back from his hangover from last night. But I don't know if he had one or not. But tonight we have two guests that I just want to welcome, and thank you guys so much for coming on. We'll start over here at the bottom. You know, Stephen Clements, you've been on a couple times in here, and just thank you so much, man, for coming on. Stand-up gamer and editor, writer, all things, all things. But yeah, thanks for coming on. And of course, we also have Greyhawk Grognard, aka Joe Block. A lot of you guys know him too. Dude, thanks so much, you guys, for coming on. And okay, I was going to introduce
great television here. 1 second, I got to adjust my light.
Transformers. And those of you guys that don't know Joe Block, he has a he's known as a Greyhawk Grognard, writer, Greyhawk enthusiast, other things, a lot of things, just like Steven. Yeah.
Well, Joe's also a Star Trek nerd extraordinaire. And we'll at the drop of a hat drop a photo of himself in his Star Trek outfit. Was yours a yellow vest, Joe?
I've got a bunch. And
oh crap!
It's worse than I thought.
The latest one, it's a gold uniform, but it's from the two pilot episodes of the original series. So it's got like the velour and the small thing, the small delta on it, but I've got the boots and I've got the flared pants and everything. So yeah, yeah.
And this is a cool collection of folks here because I've got Angelo, probably my newest dear friend in the role-playing game hobby, and then I got Joe, I think my most frequently appearing dear friend on my channel, because we did like 3 or 4 interview segments. Plus,
no, we've done at least 4 because we did the 2 on the modules, and we did the one on the conspiracies. I think we did a follow up on the conspiracies too.
I know we talked about it, but yeah, I think you've been on the channel more than anybody else.
As well, it should be.
Well, it should be. And you keep making reasons to come on because I've got a backlog of probably 2 or 3 of your modules that I'm planning to review, and I finally cleared a mental jam of getting more RPG reviews done because I've finally recorded the 1.5 hours of raw footage for Cleric's Challenge 2, and so now I'm gonna edit that down. But
I envy people like you who actually have scripts and edit things down. I literally hit the record button, I talk, and I hit stop, and then I just kind of chop in my stuff. And
see, and I envy people like you who can just do that, whereas I'm like, no, I have to know what I'm talking about. I have to have a script. I have to work on this. I've got to get. Oh, there's too many
And Steven, it'll happen.
I only choose topics
that day is coming when you'll know what you're talking. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know, Chris. I do know.
And then only choose topics I know about. That's why I could just talk.
So,
but it was funny.
Go ahead.
Because I was on Professor Dungeon Master interviewed me for my Cthulhu book once, and so I was at his house and we do the thing, and then he takes me over to his editing thing, and he is literally chopping out every I say. Like literally, he's going like through and and I'm like, and then in the final thing, I'm like jerking around because I say every other word. So
can I say that this makes me so freaking happy that I am in the company of a bunch of ummers.
It's hard to get a good ummer. Oh no!
I knew you were going to say that, Chris.
Usually I know costs $15 down by the fairgrounds.
Those aren't good.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, if that's what you're calling good, you need to go out with me. I mean, somebody I know.
He said,
And as I mentioned, Good.
I just said
My
by
friend
the
from
way,
the
I just want to
Minecraft.
say everybody welcome Chris, who is late, but is fashionably late. So Chris Clark, everybody, most of you guys know him.
I was editing in Camtasia.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you were cutting ums out of a video.
Something like that. Yeah.
So Angelo's my newest dear friend. Joe's my most frequently appearing dear friend, and Chris, you were the first dear friend on the channel. So this is a special conglomeration of people here, and Matt Sherman, heck yeah, see you in there. Fred, good to see you. Everybody else, and yeah, thanks Matt. That the pointing out the conspiracies episode was awesome.
It's funny. I still go back and watch that. It
It's fun.
It was so fun to just talk about weird conspiracy things and UFOs and the Hollow Earth.
Man, I love it.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll do another one like this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the YouTube channel, The Y-Files?
I've heard of it.
Check that out. If you like conspiracy stuff, this guy is so good.
There's
he
one
covers
called
everything from the pyramids to think about. I mean,
there's one called Mysterious Middle East, which I love. It talks about jinns and ghouls being encountered by U.S. troops in Iraq and stuff. It's awesome stuff.
I think I've
Joe,
seen that
I'm
one.
going to ask you then, if they know about gens, is Tanqueray actually Jen?
Yeah, no.
Chris will be
Ladies and
here all
gentlemen,
night.
enter Chris.
I've
Try the
heard
veal.
both sides.
He'll be here all
I've heard both sides of the argument. You know.
So when you weren't showing up on the dock, Chris, Angela was accusing you of being hung over. Is anyone on the call actually hung over besides me?
I'm working on it.
I was just a hair hung over from last night because my first shot of Dalmore 12-year-old Scotch convinced me that, you know what, one's not enough, not for 2025. So there was probably about three more, and I was feeling warm and lovely, so that was all right.
My friend Hans-Joachim Kuhn from Deutschland, he visited for a party and brought some Hennessy, which was quite good, and we drank Hennessy all night. 2 bottles, I think we went through, something like that.
Are you serious?
Oh, sure. I'm fat. It takes a lot. I mean, Pladic is more my style, I think. He's German. I'm not. And actually, he's a naturalized citizen about 56 years ago. But yeah, tall kid, looks a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger, believe it or not.
Interesting.
Go figure.
I think he doubled for him at the last one they shot out of Chicago, believe it or not. I think he was a stand-in. So
cool.
Nice. Well, that's an honor
He's also a gamer, which is just so cool. Yeah. So
I would love to do a show about celebrities who are gamers, because there are so many out there.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Well, gaming is cool, Joe. I don't know if you've discovered the world of gaming, Joe. It's really pretty cool. Yeah.
I might have to look into that.
Yeah.
What is
especially some of that old school flavor? That's where it's really at. You know?
Something back from the bell bottom days. Yeah.
It's kind of a gray area, right? Well, hey,
you're all gray area these days, though. Yeah.
Hey,
get more of it in my beard. Yeah.
Just a little.
Yes, look at that.
Yeah,
Steven there. Steven is a youngster in the group here. Look at how jet black that hair is. Holy cow.
So much more pigmentation up here than y'all do.
Wow.
Wow.
That is not Kiwi Black number 2. There.
You've got much more to pigmentate.
What the hell?
I think
Do that again,
it's
Joe.
me, then Chris, and then it's just
Joe,
falls
do that
off.
again. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to our new year special for the DM and Friends. And obviously we have some, we have Joe Block, who is streaming to his channel. I think, Steven, are you streaming to yours too? I don't
know.
Okay, well, whatever. I wanted to just give a shout out before we dug into everything and said that you guys please that go on to Joe's channel, subscribe to his channel, check out his videos. Same thing with Steven. Steven's got Man, you do a whole slew of stuff where he dresses up like a gentleman and he reads books and he does some cool stuff like that, which I will say I've been going through some of them, dude, and it's you're pretty awesome.
Okay.
But go on to Stephen Clements'
He's
channel
read books,
too.
it's amazing.
Yeah, go on to his channel, subscribe, do the same thing with Joe. Please do the same thing with mine if you can. Yeah, welcome to the show, and man, this is super awesome to have everybody here. Looks like Blair's got your back, Chris.
Yeah, I saw that, and so did Matt. I have to say this though. I'm going to correct your English just a little, Angelo, because I do that from time to time. And it's as a gentleman, Stephen dresses up, not Stephen dresses up as a gentleman, meaning like he's going out for Halloween.
What if he's gentlemanly dressed?
Well, I suppose you could get away with that, but
Hey, apparently I am the king of to Blair. Yeah,
I'll get that song together for you.
Yeah, you should go on Professor DM's channel. You just won't. You'll. Just
oh no, he won't. It'll be all gone.
It'll be blank space.
It'll be all gone.
The entire interview will just be Angelo going, "Hi," and then
Yeah. Well,
we'll get you one of those Burger King crowns. That'll be your crown.
I do need a Burger King crown. Anyways, before we jump into this, I do want to kind of give a shout out to, like I have been doing, to the Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, which is coming up soon. I think all of us are going, or Stephen, are you not going?
Oh,
you
Texas so far.
need to change your mind. Anyways, those of you guys, Ron is an awesome dude that puts a great, well, I don't know yet, because this is my maiden voyage for Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo in Philadelphia. But I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. I'm looking forward to having some fun there. I'm looking forward to just being and checking it out. So this is the QR code for it. Go and scan that. It takes you right to the website. You can see the tabletop events. I didn't get a badge and all that stuff, but most of us will be there. And I am super looking forward to it.
They just hit 2,000 pre-registrations.
Wow.
For a third year con, that is freaking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Ron on here a couple weeks back, and we talked about it, and it sounds like a good time, and his heart's in a great place too. He's really doing a lot for the community as far as auction stuff and other different ways that I wouldn't be able to relay. But I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see you guys there. Wow,
lucky guy. I mean, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is going to be riding the mystery machine over there, the bus, and Joe, I think you're driving there too, right?
Yeah, it's only about 3 hours from my house, so yeah, that's an easy drive. I'm staying at the hotel nearby. I've been there every year so far, and I'm really looking forward to it. One thing I think we gotta point out though, in relation to Page, is they also do the gamer assistance program. Gap, and
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah, that is where they, if there's somebody in the gaming community who is in need, they can apply for a helping hand. And several people, prominent people in the history of gaming have been helped with this, and some other folks too. You can donate to it. The auction, some part of the proceeds of the auction at Page go to the GAP program. So it's really a great thing that Ron has organized for the entire gaming community. It really is.
And from what he told me is that fund basically for anybody that is, for lack of a better word, hurting or need help. They can apply to it for a grant from it, right. And then
we've helped. I'm on that committee, and we've helped people with medical bills. We've helped people, my roof collapsed. I need help. Just all kinds of things, just to help gamers in need. And it's really a wonderful thing he's put together. I'm proud to be here.
Such a great cause. Yeah, that's. Thanks for laying that all out, because I knew there was a function of it, and I didn't know exactly what it was called. And my memory is So
and Matthew Sherman, I will be going to WizardCon in April. Yes, for the second time. It's another great little con.
It is.
WizardCon, yeah.
No, you will not see me this year, Joe. But
Shellback said these
still big
cons are on the
supporters.
wrong continent for me. Where are you at, Shellback View? Wait a minute. Somebody just said gray matter. Are you trying to say that I have gray? Okay. I'm going to move that out there.
Well, and I want to let you know, Angelo, since you started this live broadcast, there is a group in Tibet that uses the from this broadcast for meditation.
Are you saying Angelo is a new incarnation of a llama?
He's more spiritual than we realize, I think. That really is.
Exactly. That's my goal.
The llama.
Yeah.
Mahatma Angelo, is that what we're talking about here?
There you go. Yeah.
Before we get any further on, Blair had bagged on Tanqueray for tasting like pine needles, and
it does.
I think
It's a
that's
very
worth
Christmassy
consideration.
drink for those people who don't have the Christmas spirit. Shame on you. You know.
And that's why gin drinkers should go for Hendrix. They have the variety for you, as clean or as floral and herbaceous as you want.
You can have a very classic cocktail with 2 fingers of Tanqueray and 4 fingers of Hawaiian Punch.
Wow, 2 fingers and 4 fingers. I mean, Chris, I think I know you, but I don't know if I know you that well. Yeah.
I read that on the Minecraft boards. Yeah.
See,
So
I've actually made
says, once
smoking
my
bishop.
wife's permission to immigrate, we will leave Japan and move. So you're in Japan. Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, dude.
Yeah, I believe Shellback Bo is one of my supporters. So welcome to the thing.
All right. Yeah. Dude,
but yeah, I've
tuning
actually
in.
made smoking bishop, which I only heard about in A Christmas Carol. Okay. It's a Victorian Christmas drink where you put like port wine and red wine and roasted clove fruit together. Ooh. It's like a mulled wine, basically. It's really, really good. Lots of sugar.
Helps if you're backed up a little, you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that one of those where you take like a hot poker and shove it in there?
I'm going to take your word for that one. Really, no sense of shared experience. I hope you understand. But yeah.
But Shellback Bo, Ohio, I would caution you against that. Ohio is a slang term amongst the Ute for a reason, because nothing good comes out of Ohio. But that's my words. Go move to Wisconsin next to Chris Clark.
Well, there was one extremely good thing in Ohio, at least that I can think of, at least until yesterday.
Segue into it. Yeah.
Yes. That would be Mr. Cask himself.
Yeah. Segue. That's a great. That is a great segue, because that was the next thing on the list.
Right on it.
We planned it out.
Yeah, that was
there were no planning.
Great assist, Chris.
I don't have cuffs, so it can't be off the cuff.
So I did want to talk about that. I mean, we obviously, ladies and gentlemen, everybody tuning in, I'm sure you guys have heard, it is with great sadness that we lost another great, just 2 days ago now. I woke up, I think yesterday, to the news from Jim Wampler and stating that we lost Tim Kask, and wow, what a gut kick, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll raise my Diet Coke to it, I guess. And that's all I have here today, but
I didn't have time to get a cocktail.
Yeah.
So, all right.
You can go get a cocktail, Chris.
I've got okay. What beer are you drinking there, Joe?
My usual Coors Light.
Okay.
Coors Light. You're a Coors Light guy.
I can drink 30 of them and still
true.
be.
Of course you can. So. And piss your brains away. Yeah.
It makes sense that Joe would go with the silver bullet. Totally. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Well, it's like sleeping in a canoe. Okay, it's really close to water. Yeah.
Yeah, but so Tim, that's too bad.
Well, and I of course had the.
Well, you knew him the best out of all. I mean,
I had the incredible experience of working with the man for, good God, 7 years, and we would fight like cats and dogs, and we were the best of friends. Yeah. Most of those arguments would end with, if I actually won, and those were occasional, I'll admit, but it would end with Tim saying that, well, it's a bitter and spiky pill you're forcing me to swallow here, Mr. Clark. But I suppose we can try it your way. Really. And very dramatic, yes. I'm sure he had stage time, at least in his blood, if not in reality. Yeah. Very Shakespearean. Very Shakespearean.
Well, he had an English degree, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
And that's and he wound up teaching that later on, if I remember right. So he came by that kind of fancy talk
Well,
honestly.
I actually have one, and Frank has one. Believe it or not, Jim Ward had one. So we had a company made up of everybody with the same talents. Not a good
Yeah.
idea, by the way. Not the
A
best.
lot of
thing.
English majors. Yeah.
So for the
If only
audience,
there had been a finance major.
Yeah, well, I did take econ. That was my main degree, was econ. So they made me do all of that stuff, Go book stuff for us, Get stuff printed, will you? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
so Chris, where did you work with him at?
Eldritch Enterprises.
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes up on the bottom anymore. The second in line of companies that I either own or have worked with, or and actually I owned part of Eldritch. I was a partner in Eldritch. So that
And
was
there's
myself
only
and
there's
Frank.
you're one of the last. You're
Just Frank and I left.
just you and Frank left from Eldritch. Yeah.
And honestly, gang, get to Paige and sit and talk to Frank. He's getting up there. Let's just say that. And he looks good, but you're never guaranteed tomorrow. So yeah.
If there can only be one situation in a fight, my money's on Chris. Chris will totally roll Frank.
Frank and I would fight regularly as well, and yet again, we're best of friends. These guys were both, of course they're fighters and scrappers, but both of them were also intellectuals. So these fights were debates. They were not, so's your mother. And my mom was, so I had not much to say on that. So no, I'm kidding. Really, no, mom. Okay.
I have a quick Tim story because I don't know, a lot of you guys knew this, but I had a decade-long project with him. It was with the HMGS. It had to do with some of his micro armor, and the project went sour a couple months back from a theft that happened at a museum, and I don't want to get all into the details of it, but I had talked to you, Chris, and I'm like. Yeah. I was like, oh crap, I gotta tell Tim this, and I was like so dreading it because he asked me, hey, what's the latest status? We used to talk, maybe once a quarter on the phone about what's going on with it and stuff like that. So I got the opportunity, to talk with him, get to know him in that level, more than others, less than more, some, what's that term, but whatever. But so this last time I talked with Chris, and he's like, just call him. Yeah. So anyways, I got on the phone with him. It was probably 2 months ago. And we scheduled the call and all that, and got on there with him. And I said, Chris, he's going to rip me a new one, dude. And he did for the first couple minutes. And then, you know what, guys? We talked for an hour and a half about D&D.
Yeah.
That was just him. Like, I don't know how many phone call conversations or Zoom sessions I had with him where we were just talking about the love of the game, certain mechanics, and, a big conversation piece that I would have with him was improvising, because he had that Wheel of Blame piece where he was very good at just pulling stuff out of his butt, so anyways, that was kind of my take is, and then we talked about 2-3 weeks ago too on Zoom, kind of a follow-up on some stuff. And then same thing, we're talking about OD&D for an hour and a half. And man, he was going to come on the show. He's like, yeah, let's talk about improvising and Wheel of Blame. And man, when just so bummed that we lost another great. I mean, what's that this year already? Well, we're Ernie too, right? This year?
Ernie.
Yeah.
2025. Yeah, took out Ernie too. And that was such a shame because like every time I interviewed him, he looked like he was doing better and better and better. And he was more mobile, and he had better spirit, better color. And then just like a switch hit him and taken out, which apparently Tim was a quick done too.
Yeah, he had a really
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, not to heap accolades on Steven here, but I'm going to heap some accolades on Steve. When I started working with Ernie again, I wanted him to contribute to an upcoming Kickstarter that we have, It's very original type, early fantasy, a castle thing. You'll hear about it. It's all right. We're not going to do that today. But he was not even well enough to write things down.
Oh,
And
wow.
he said, "Do you have? I want to be in this. Do you have somebody who could take dictation for me?" And I didn't actually have a spare body in the office here to do that. So I called up Steven. I said, "Steven, can you do this for me?" And
Oh, wow.
this guy jumped on the hand grenade without even having a helmet over it. Took like 4 hours, 8 hours of dictation on several phone calls. And I actually got a fairly comprehensible file from you, which I'm sure is only because you read between the lines in some cases. I did share your file with Donna, by the way, just to make sure that she agreed with it. She does. In fact, she pointed out 1 or 2 things I missed on going through it, because I've already recondensed that into the portion of the adventure that it will occupy. So, yeah.
And for the viewers, not to cut you off, Chris, but for the viewers, he was talking about the late Ernie Gygax.
Yes.
Right before he passed, he dictated a bunch of stuff to Steven.
We had
for the Castle Wolf Moon project. That's going to be we'll talk about here in a second. But
right, and when Chris is done what he needs to do commercially with all that material, I would like to release that video, unfiltered, unedited, of me and Ernie talking, just to so people could see how he worked, because there was a process and he was creative. But until Chris is done with it, no one's seeing it but me and him and Donna.
Yeah, no spoilers, man. Jeez.
No spoilers, but it's some really good stuff, really interesting, imaginative stuff. So he'd been creating for decades and was still churning out novel ideas.
Yes.
And I think it was that night that you asked me to do that. Like, I needed to get on it. There is a common bond between me talking to Ernie and me meeting Tim Kask in person. Is that a commonality was I was really high both times. So you got a hold of me to do the transcribing for Ernie, and I was like, I just got really okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lose
You're
out
one of the
on
wizards of baking. Yeah.
yeah. And so he was talking, and I was trying not to look like a freak the whole time, and I think it succeeded. And then for Tim Kask, I only got to meet him once in person, and kind of like Matt did on his Curmudgeon in the Cellar videos. I used to watch him all the time, and I'd put in questions, he'd answer them. So there was that interaction. But up in New England, he went to a one and only time con because COVID killed it. Didn't happen the next year, and we did a game of Wheel of Blame, and it was a good time. But then afterwards, everything packed up for the day. And from Curmudgeon in the Cellar, I could tell that Tim Kask was a big fan of the green leaf, and I was also a fan of the green leaf. So I was like, I'm going to go meet Tim Kask. I'm going to smoke him up, and I was not prepared for what he brought in turn. And
no, he knows the right people. Yeah.
Oh, he knows the right people. So they were getting ripped outside this inn and tavern in Maine, and he was telling me all kinds of crazy stuff, like going all the way back from his time in the Navy when he did LSD and the ocean attacked him, and then when he was in Memphis for the MLK riots, and how he got marooned in a college dorm room with some girls, some Everclear, and some grape concentrate for like 5 days, and just all kinds of stuff. So when you say that you talked, like every time you talked to him for one reason, you would then go on for another hour plus talking about stuff. That guy could talk. Tim could talk,
and he had seen quite a bit of the world. Yes, sir.
He sure had.
Yeah,
he sure had.
Hey, I wanna give the option to Joe. Do you want to answer this right here? This question from Miss Project 9662.
Yes. I mean, are we done with the Tim thing, or
no? We'll come right back to it.
Okay. Yeah. So my opinion is anything that brings Gary's stuff to the public eye is a good thing. I'm not connected with the project myself, but I know the people who are, and I've talked to them about it, and they're obviously it's not there is no single Castle Greyhawk that Gary could publish. There were several versions that he ran and so forth, but they really seem to be doing their best effort to do a synthesis the way Gary really intended it to be, based on, he was giving them tons of notes and everything. So they really seem to be making the best effort possible. And I am all in. I am so supporting that. And I am in favor of it 1,000%.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not so concerned it'll cause a first edition problem.
No.
I know the guys pretty well at CNC, so bear in mind that I might have a slightly biased opinion in their favor.
Yeah.
Steve and I have worked together for 30 years on various things, like the Warden, for instance. I don't think so, though. It's funny. What is CNC to me? They looked at the SRD for 3rd edition, so it wasn't really an SRD at that point. But the D20, here's what you need to do, and they said, how do we write 1st edition as a 3rd edition game? And that became Castles and Crusades. It really is just 1st edition adapted to 3rd edition,
but
and it's
even then,
it's simplicity that way.
The mechanics are irrelevant because the stats convert. Right?
Right. Yeah. I would tend to agree.
It is completely irrelevant how Castles and Crusades handles a given situation versus how AD&D 1st edition handles the situation. The monster stats and the characters and everything are completely interchangeable.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't matter how resolution is handled. They're handled very differently in each game, but the characters, the adventures, they're almost seamless in the way that they're presented. So that is a non-issue, the translation thing between CNC and I have run Castle Zagig using AD&D.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you really want to, you could run it in BRP if you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But I could see how people are concerned with stuff like
that. The mechanics of how resolution works is very different, but it's irrelevant to translating a module from one to the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And well put, sir.
Yeah, and sorry to jump around about our previous topic, but I want to give a chance because the backlog of questions are coming in.
Those that have come in.
Here's your, and thank you guys. Please bring your questions because we love questions. Somebody shell back to you says, "What is the Warden?" Oh God,
I'm looking at. Oh, I do have one here. Wait a minute.
You better have
Starship Warden.
Well, they might all be in the living room, but I have like 3 or 4 of these still. So this is a book that Jim Ward and I wrote.
Hey, that's my copy.
That you can beat whales to death with.
Hold it up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no, hold it up in front of the camera.
Yeah, in front of the camera.
There you go.
What? Now you can't see me. Oh,
Metamorphosis Alpha, guys.
The thing is, and I when Jim was around, Jim and I were very close. And Jim was around, I kept telling him, I find that your ideas behind Metamorphosis Alpha, I actually find superior to Gamma World. And he used to always ask me, well, why would you think that? Oh my God. And it's because it's the only role-playing game I know of that is set in a finite universe. You can reach the end of the universe at every edge of that because the ship is a given. There you go. I actually got all that material in from the various folks that did them because I wanted to incorporate it. And none of that material, by the way, is invalidated by this Warden book that I just showed you. It's within there. It doesn't have the full details. It says, go and get the copy that Joe just showed you if you want to play that aspect. It's located here.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, you never did a source book for it. You got an entire world centered around a source book that needs to exist that doesn't. So why don't we finally, after all these years, write the darn source book? And I told Steve about it. And Steve's like, we could do that Kickstarter. Doesn't have to go to Joe Goodman. We could do that Kickstarter.
Yeah, so there you go.
I still have my original that I bought in 1979 or something.
I have 4 of those.
Joe, do you know what my biggest, Joe, you know what my biggest complaint about that is that you just held up?
Epsilon City? Yep.
I love this one.
Yeah, Epsilon City. I got a copy of that too, back behind me. I wish the typeset of that. Oh my God, it's horrible.
Yeah, but when I was 12, it didn't matter. Now it matters a lot. That's why I got the giant one That's the size of a phone
Yeah,
book.
but try to read it now. Try to read it now, dude.
But just to tack on to a couple things that have been coming up, the Castles and Crusades, that's completely backward compatible with everything before it, and with many things in the OSR that's come since. It's a good rule system. It really is. Simple and flexible. And I see my boy Matt Archibald's out there. Signed up to play On Guard at page 3. Matt, Archie, and I, we do a monthly On Guard game on Discord. So if
Yeah.
you ever want to
Is
try
that the
On
one with the
Guard,
mice?
just hit one of us up. No, not Mouse Guard. This is On
Okay.
Guard,
There
where
we
you
go.
play as a Frenchman that you can use drinking in public as a game mechanic to raise your level, and you're trying to land the highest class mistresses and getting duels for honor and so on and so forth as you bribe your way up the military ranks. It's all about social climbing. It's wonderful. And he'll be doing it in person. He's a good teacher for it too. So if you want to try it, hit him up. And Tecamel, that's a good one too. That's very interesting. The editing is awful on the book, though. It's so
You would say
impenetrable
that.
to get through. I would say that, but I love the material, and I've loved every time I've played it. Because Victor Raymond, he runs a mean game of it, and I was expecting like the rule book to be kind of representative of how he explained the rules, and it is not. It is unchanged since what, the 70s.
I think we killed Angelo.
Yeah, he just IM me on Facebook. He's got a power outage.
We can do this.
So
we
it's
can
us,
do
it's us
this.
three, yes.
So the DM and Friends is now just and Friends. But
quick, everybody commit crimes and blame it on Angelo.
no,
We're not
that's
paying
a totally different game, Stephen.
I can't bring it. Can I bring it up? Do I have the power?
Maybe.
So
Only
we have
if you pretend to be He-Man.
What is the personal preference? A game where everything has rules, or a game where that allows the game master to determine how an action works?
Something in between, for me.
Elaborate.
I like a number of things to be codified, but a number of things to not be codified. I have house rules for how fast do I get my hit points back? Well, it depends on how you're resting. Because if you're resting in a hotel with armed guards outside your door that are dedicated to preserving your life, you're going to get a lot more hit points back than if you're trying to rest while sleeping in with a whole bunch of orcs that are sleeping around you, and you hope that you wake up first.
He's back.
Yeah, I just had a whole outage and computer rebooted. Sorry about that, guys.
Pay the bill, okay?
Lucky you.
I was so excited that I went over and grabbed this.
Yes, my man, mon ami. We should go hit Paris together.
On guard.
Yeah, or maybe Japan. We'll come up with the Japan version. There is something involving Japanese dancing girls and fishnets that I showed him earlier. He approved.
Oh yeah, that was actually fun. Thank you.
But
I want to hear about your DeviantArt profile. Sure.
But I'll agree with Chris. I want the ground rules of how the game works at writ large,
right?
So everybody can have an objective standard to go with. But I don't want a game that tries to rules every single possible thing, because then it's like Gulliver didn't tie tails.
I think I just had a religious experience.
Off he goes again. See, and I take a different tack on it. Everybody thinks because it looks like a phone book that Adventures Dark and Deep is really rules heavy. It's not. It's really rules light, but it's got a ton of options.
Yeah,
and that's what I like. You don't have to use every rule, but isn't it not? 90% of the rules in any game you're gonna use. Once a year, maybe.
Right.
But those 10% of the core rules you're going to use every single time because that's what matters. Yeah. But all those corner cases and everything, I don't mind having them and knowing that they're there. And I don't mind taking 30 seconds to flip through a book and see, what am I supposed to do when this really outre thing happens, and then, figure it out. So, I don't mind having in-depth rules as long as it's not in-depth rules that I am expected to know every single time I play.
Right.
So what about Rollmaster then?
Well, Angelo
I
has
reveal my
opinions
age.
on Merp.
Hey, that's one of my favorite systems. Merp is, man. We can talk about Merp. Oh yeah.
Well, it's a very rich system, but I will say this: we used to refer to it as Chartmaster.
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
remember when Arms Law and Claw Law first came out.
Oh my God.
It was like they had the card stock things. It was a huge revelation in like 1978 when it happened. Because I
Yes.
was at like Origins. No, it was Atlanticon. It was Origins East Atlanticon in Cherry Hill. And I was like 12.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the first con I'd never gone to. And that hit the con that year. And it was the only thing anybody could talk about.
I'm trying to talk Angelo into running like a demo game of Middle Earth role playing for Rollmaster.
The old ice stuff was pretty cool too, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, the ice, the maps were at the time, they were incredible. They blew everything out of the water because they looked so different. They had these isometric
it was amazing
wilderness maps and stuff. Oh, they were fantastic.
And how deep they went in the lore and the world. They just, I mean, I was talking about this earlier, like Merp, I attribute that the same thing that the D6 system did with Star Wars, WEP did with Star Wars. It went so deep.
FASA did with Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because remember at the time, this was like Star Trek II had just come out. That's all you had.
Yeah. And they dug so deep, so freaking deep.
That Klingon supplement they did from the Robert L. Forward book was just fantastic. Valoria 17, to answer your question, you can get it on Drive-Thru RPG. There is a core rule book, and there's also a light rule book for Adventures Dark and Deep, which just has the core 5 classes, and it just doesn't have as many options. So you can play that forever, and you have fewer options, or you can get the big phone book, and you have a gazillion options. But it's all on Drive-Thru.
Yeah.
Just search for DRW Games. You'll find it.
I've only gotten to play once. I haven't looked through the book yet. But God, was it fun, dude. We had a blast. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And somebody I want to point out in the chat, as far as this games design and rules light versus rules heavy kind of talk we've got going on right now, the Freezer 700 there, he's designed a role-playing game that brings to life the Legacy of Kain video game series, which if y'all have ever messed with that, it is the original Blood Omen Legacy of Kain probably changed all dark fantasy that came after it when it was released on the PlayStation in the early 90s. And I just recently replayed it, and it's just as nasty and dark. Actually, it's darker now that I realize the implications of some things that happened in there. I'm like, wait, Epstein's not mentioned by name in here, but it's okay. You get to kill the bad guy, even though you're the vampire anti-hero. So it's this dark fantasy vampire anti-hero kind of centered universe, and he adapted that to a rule set, and it does use charts, but it's pretty rules light. It's pretty flexible what it can do. And I played one session of it with him, and it was good. And it was so good that me and one of my other local regulars he's gonna run us through at least a mini campaign of it starting in January on his Discord channel. So there's all kinds of different ways of writing your rules up still going on today.
Yeah.
Well, and to Ricky, I played the original Hackmaster because all the Kenzer guys used to live about 11 miles from me. So they would come over for the Gen Con Milwaukee. We would have a pre-Gen Con party at my house. And the whole Kenzer gang would come over and drink my beer. But yeah, we kind of, I don't know, grew up in gaming together. They far surpassed anything I've done. But yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee was the last time I went to Gen Con.
Hackmaster might be one of the best reads of a role-playing game because it's funny and
it's pretty funny. Yeah, the original was hilarious with the gazebos and the bouncing muddy fireballs and
Isn't that where you can die? Isn't that where you can die in character creation?
No, that's Traveler.
Yeah. There's also the game where there are grenades that have a greater area of effect than you can throw the grenade. And don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed Traveler. Hats off to Mark, but there are a couple of little. You needed a continuity editor, Mark. I don't know. That was a long time ago, and we all made mistakes back in those days.
Stephen, get on that.
Yeah. I'm going to
I'll
get on
contact
in a minute,
Mongoose.
so-
Ping them on Facebook and offer to.
Yeah, talk amongst yourself. I'll be right back. Talk amongst
Go
yourself.
heckle their work and see if they'll hire me. I mean, it's worked
for
so
me.
far. It's worked for at least 2 people at this point.
Well, we definitely got off the topic of Tim.
I think that ship has sailed. I think we've set
Yeah,
our piece.
yeah. I just, hats off to him, and I'm sure more stories will come out.
But now, before we
there's-
get away from that, I am curious. Joe, did you ever have any interactions with Tim Kask?
I've met him at cons. I met him at Gary Con. I've met him at different things here and there. But I wasn't real. I watch his videos every once in a while. But no, I wasn't particularly close to him. It's funny because I hear about people talking. I spoke to so and so for 3 hours, and it's like the only one of the old guard I've ever spoken to on the phone, outside of the context of a convention, was Rob Kunz, and I couldn't imagine that they would want to talk to me. So I've never tried. I've never, it wouldn't even occur to me to try to talk to Tim Kask. Let me just call Tim Kask. It would never occur to me to do that.
And
I don't think they'd ever want to talk to me because I'm nobody.
Joe,
yeah,
that
was
so
the
strange.
thing. That was the thing about Tim, is he was so receptive to people chatting with him, and
I understand a lot of them.
I'm the same way too. Like
a lot of them were and are like that.
Yeah.
Frank Messer is at Page. He just sat down when I was eating breakfast and started talking to me. I'm like, how do you even know who I am?
Yeah.
Joe, give yourself a little credit now. Come on.
I guess I don't. I don't think that people like that would, need me bothering them on the phone. So I've never tried to. I've never interacted with the old guard like that.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way, Joe, is that a lot of these folks, they've their glory days of publishing and creating are way in the past. So for someone today to still want to talk to them about this thing that they did, they like it. They love that stuff.
Very true. Very true.
It's funny because I don't know if any of you've ever heard of there was a sci-fi series called The Vang. It was about these parasitic aliens, and it was really and I found the author on Facebook a couple of years ago, and I pinged him. I was like, "Are you ever going to write another Vang novel?" And he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you remember this." Yes, I actually. I made his day to that.
Yeah,
but I don't want to impose myself on them. It's just that's who I am.
In a non-role playing context, when I was writing my first book, to Save a Life, which is about the Fourth Crusade and the fall of Constantinople, the author that most inspired me, probably screwed me up for life, with his 3-part Byzantium trilogy, was British Lord John Julius Norwich. And when I was getting ready to put it out, I found his website. I sent an email to it, just to see if he wouldn't mind me sending him a copy of it in tribute. And there he was. He answered me back, and he's a British lord. Like, he's been on TV there, like on an annual thing. Like, his romances and fallings out have been like pop culture there.
Yeah.
But he was laid up with a broken ankle. And he was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" So yeah, like, if there's somebody you want to talk to, at least ask them. I mean, I ask all kinds of people to come on my channel. They're like, "Okay, all right," and then they do. And it's a great time. So, and Joe, you could probably, believe in yourself a little more. I think you're a man of accomplishments. They might have heard of you. They might want to have something to do with you.
It's not that any of those guys don't have self-confidence. They like themselves, or they wouldn't be who they are. But they're not on a, they don't put themselves on a pedestal. They don't.
I do.
If you enjoy gaming,
Tim Kask, you're the freaking editor of Dragon. You don't want to. Good God, you sent me a check once. You don't want to hear from me.
Joe, this will stun you rigid. Okay, when Jim and Tim and Frank decided to form this new company, they asked me to join, not the other way around.
Yeah, Eldritch
And I was like,
Enterprises.
hello?
Yeah.
You know?
That's crazy.
They're regular gamers just like the rest of us.
Oh, I know, and I
interact
interacted with them fine at cons.
Yeah.
I just can't picture myself just calling them out of the blue and chatting for 2 hours about mechanics in D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, Joe,
I could talk to them for 12 hours talking.
Yeah.
But I don't see myself doing that.
Yeah. You
Well,
know, to
sorry,
double
go ahead.
click on that, and that's why I tell the story of that, because I did get the opportunity to talk to him multiple times, and it was it was as easy as talking to anybody, you know what I mean? And that's why I think that if I take away any of my experiences with Ernie too, like Ernie was another person that I chatted with a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just it's a testament to our community. It's a testament to our community. And I just
I want to throw a little bit of contrast out there, though, because part of the reason that, Joe, you can walk up to somebody that you've always revered, like a Gary Gygax, and just start talking mechanics with him, and you could. I mean, I did it like age 14, 15. But that was because I didn't walk up to him and ask if he wanted to hear about my character. You will get a different response if you ask if they want to hear about your character. You will.
Yeah.
I have a Gary guy. I have a Gary.
Yeah. Good night, Fred.
Good night, Fred.
Night, Fred. I have a Gary guy story. I was at Gen Con in Milwaukee, and he was there and we were I was in a bar. I guess it was the hotel bar, and he was just sitting there at a table, and I recognized him. And I begged the bartender. I was only like I couldn't buy beer at that point, and I begged the bartender to sell me beer so I could take it to that guy at the table, and you can watch me take it over to him. And the bartender let me do that, and I got to buy a beer for Gary Gygax, even though I couldn't drink. I actually got to buy him a beer, and I fanboyed on him for a couple of minutes. He was very gracious. That's my Gary Gygax story.
Watch how scary this is, Joe. Was there a piano in that bar?
It's very possible.
If there was a piano, you were at the Hyatt. If it was a slightly older hotel with a whole lot of atmosphere, it was probably the Old Mark Plaza, which is now, I forget what, I think a new Hilton.
No, it would probably be the Hyatt.
Yeah. If there was a piano, it was the Hyatt, because he loved the piano bar too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I got him like a half yard or something. Like, give me your best beer in a half yard.
Yeah,
I took it over to him, and he was really gracious about it.
Well, Joe, if you ever need an icebreaker with Alan Hammock, just either buy him Denny's, because that was my way of getting him to talk to
or
me.
a drink.
I was sitting at Denny's at North Texas, and I saw him come wandering in. I was like, hey, if you'll come talk to me, I'll buy your lunch. He's like, okay. And since then, he's let me buy him many beers. So he'll also take beer, but usually only like brown ales. Just that, not IPAs, not some India Pale.
Merle Rasmussen, I've met at a bunch of cons, and he and I have just, because he came up to me though, and it's like, what is happening? It's like when a wild fox comes up and wants you to pet it. It's just like, what is it? What's happening?
A wild fox. I mean, that's appropriate. I think. I mean,
No, but no, he and I are now.
Merle's
we do chat in
adorable.
emails and stuff, but it was just. I don't know. It's just the way I'm wired. I don't want to impose myself on other people.
That's understandable, man. That's totally understandable. You don't want to intrude, and I think that's what the key is there. Is it? I don't think a lot of these guys really see it that way, which is.
And I think the informal game people are right, and I see this at cons. The designers are real gamers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's true. You see, I've played in dozens of games with people over the years.
Yeah.
Who are I see in book credits, and they're just playing games. I love that part.
Yeah.
But you know what, Joe, I think I can relate to you a little bit, because like Steve Winter, big fan of his. But I haven't asked for an interview because I'm like, I don't know what I would talk to him about, because I'd just be like, you're Steve Winter. That's cool. Because he's like the most erudite person I've probably met. And he's one of the wittiest. One of, Chris.
I'm comfortable with who I am. That's right.
Okay, one of. and so on. But Angela, what was that project you said you'd been talking to Tim Kask about, though? You used an acronym, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so back in 2014, oh God, okay, you guys want to hear this story? Okay, so my family founded and runs the General Patton Museum out in California because he was a family friend. And so Tim, back in 2014, asked the community, hey, I have a bunch of this micro armor. Can we, does anybody want it? Or, like to, so I had talked to him and I said, hey, maybe we could do a diorama at the museum because it's all about, Patton's armor and stuff like that. So anyway, so I hooked him up with the curator there and we got it all donated over there, moved and all that stuff. And then we were working with HMGS too, which is Historical Miniatures Gamer Society, which I'm a part of that. Yep. And I know you two are, that's Historicon at its greatest. Basically that's Historicon is all
cons across the country.
Yeah, all across the country, but that's the big mecca that happens. Yeah. But anyway, so years passed and the hands changed over there, and it was really kind of dragging his feet. And me and him were kind of going back on designs for it with the teams and blah 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 blah. And recently there was a theft at the museum, and it just so happened all of his stuff was stolen, and I was freaking devastated because
they stole micro armor.
Yeah.
Yes, which is ridiculously. Anyways, I hear you, but it was tons.
I hope people are looking on eBay because that's coming up on eBay someplace.
Oh, I know, and it's tons of it. Like, he had bins upon bins upon bins. I'll send you some pictures, Joe, at some point. But anyway, so that was when I was telling the story about I was scared to tell him because I actually went down there this last Veterans Day, which we have a big celebration for Patton and for the veterans and all that. And it's a really nice time. General Patton Museum in Chiriaco Summit, California. Anyways, so I ended up talking to him and I told him that's the story I told you guys about, and he was pissed at first, and then anyways.
Well, obviously, I mean,
it's like when they boosted those Magic the Gathering cards at Gen Con a couple of years ago, or was it like a whole pallet? They just walked out the loading dock with it, and
somebody got rich off of that. Yeah, that's
no. They didn't they find them? They found them trying to sell them.
I think so.
And they were on camera and shit. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
don't mean to demonetize us.
Yeah. So anyways, that's the story of that. And that was my tie to him for several years. And then obviously it bloomed into gaming, and well, it's always been gaming, but anyway.
But you never met in person.
With him?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've gamed with him. Yeah. Several. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd y'all play?
Mainly OD&D. That was his kind of thing at cons. I didn't know him like Chris did. Obviously, Chris was pretty close, but that was my story. I'm sticking to it.
Not biblical. No.
Yeah.
No.
So Angela, how do we stand on viewers? How many people we got?
We have 39 right now. I think we've been up into the 40s, stuff like that.
If you hover, you'll see who's given all the who has what.
It's like
it's all you, man. It's 38. 30 of them is you.
Jesus.
DM and friends 6, Joe another one, and then another one for me. So yeah
damn
you, Joe.
Damn.
So,
I cannot believe.
So like I said earlier, you guys
on the show with him. I mean, he's a celebrity.
Yeah, he's a celebrity. Joe's a celebrity.
I'm the celebrity.
Like I said, you guys earlier that weren't here to tune in, we have 3 of us here that have live, YouTube channels that are multi-streaming right now. And please, you guys that are part of my channel, please go over to Joe Block's channel, subscribe, like his stuff, look at all of his Greyhawk stuff. Steven has got some really cool stuff up there regarding gaming and literature, and I don't know, I'll probably get it all wrong, but
does a live reading of this really cool Christmas story.
Yeah,
2 parts. And he reviewed this book called Inner City Redux
something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And those are all, even though Chris Clark ain't got a channel, well, his stuff's still getting covered.
You can see Chris Clark at Inner City Games Designs. He is the author and the maker and the founder and the organizer and the everything of Lance, Inner City Games, and probably 1,500 other games.
Yeah, I mean, I have like 75 titles still in print, so don't go down that list. It will be here forever.
Yeah. So that's the makeup of this. We're all friends. We all,
I want to tell my funniest ever Tim story because I know it's not generally known, and I know you've heard it, so you'll be bored. And Stephen probably has heard it too. I don't think Joe's heard it. We're middle years of Eldritch, so it's like 2012, 2013, and we have our booth at GaryCon, and the guys, the year before, Luke had gone and gotten Jim a scooter because he worried about Jim, as many of us did at the time. Got Jim a scooter for the whole show. So Tim had to have a scooter too. He would not be outdone by Jim. He wanted a scooter too. So Luke got him a scooter. And he brings it over to the booth to show me how cool his new scooter is. And this thing really moves. And wow, he's having fun. And he starts motoring down the aisleway during the setup day, right? And this girl comes pelting down the aisle, and I don't know, 20-something, gorgeous young thing, and goes pelting down the aisle and comes up behind him, wraps her arms around him, says, "Oh, Jim, I'm so glad you made it." And Tim slowly turns the scooter around, and with a face that looks like death, he looks in the eye and he says, "Not everyone on a scooter is James Ward." And I'm just sitting there trying not to pee on myself because I'm laughing so hard,
And he's got a weak bladder.
It's kind of funny, Tim. It's a little funny. Yeah.
That's good.
Well,
That's good stuff. So my favorite gaming memory involving Tim Kask was when he no-showed. So at GaryCon 2019, I was signed up for Wheel of Blame. I hadn't met him before 2019. Hadn't met him before. But I wound up meeting him later at AppleCon. And somehow he got double booked on Sunday. And so he went to the celebrity game and not to the Podunk game. But in the room, waiting for him to show up, there happened to be one of the players that had signed up had been in Wheel of Blame several times, so he knew how it went. And so he said, "Well, I'll run it for you."
Oh, that's awesome.
And he actually did a more entertaining job of running Wheel of Blame than Tim Kask did. Because then at AppleCon afterwards, I was in a Wheel of Blame game with Tim Kask, and I was like, "Man, that other guy was better than you."
Oh, yeah.
And that's when you were banned from ever playing a game with him again.
And then he spun his scooter around, and with a face that looked like death, he looked no.
Yeah, I have several of those little plaques from Tim. I went to Gen Con, blah blah blah, and all I got was TPK'd by Tim Kask.
I was going to say, did you ever win one of the special TPK trophies I made for him?
I don't think so, but I mean, I've played in so many of his con games. Yeah,
I'm still. I do
remember that. Yes, I'm
still trying to get you to play this game, but I got a bunch of these cowboy and Indian kits, right? When I did Wild West War Pigs, and they came with teepees. So I took 5 of them and I mounted them on wood blocks and did the terrain around them and did a little campfire on them and everything, and then got little bronze plaques made for them saying the total party kill, the TPK, so it was spelled TP and then the word K, trophy, and I gave them to Tim, and I said, and you need to remind people that it's only a coincidence that TPK and Tim Kask share initials.
Jesus, he loved killing parties. He loved it.
and he had no qualms about saying, "Yeah, I killed him." Jim would know that characters kill themselves. No, Tim was always, "Yeah, no, I killed him."
Okay, just only because you said that, I need to plug tomorrow and Sunday. I do every week I do a collaboration with Joe the Lawyer and Eric Tenkar, and this month we're doing it also with Don Zamora, and the topic is character death. So
nice.
And then we're going to talk about it on Sunday too. So just only because you said that, that's what we're talking about tomorrow.
The famous TPK awards, yes.
Well, speaking of plugs, I don't want to not give you the somebody's got a Kickstarter coming up in a couple of days.
Whoa,
Steven? That you?
Is that would it be start with a Greyhawk?
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I will pluck something else from my big stack of
Well,
books.
hang on. Let me set up the screen really quick here. Hold on.
Ooh.
Set her up.
Let
Wrong
me
one.
set up the screen here. Not me. We don't want to see my mug.
He is such an IT wizard. Just incredible, really. Go for it, Angela.
There we go.
All right. So yes, starting on January 13th, I've got the Adventures Dark and Deep Book of Fell Wisdom coming out on Kickstarter. This is a probably my last Adventures Dark and Deep rule book for quite a long time. This is taking bits and pieces of stuff that I've previously released, but hasn't been really done in a hardcover, new style release. It's got a ton of new stuff. It's got new classes. It's got witches and necromancers and myconic druids who use mushrooms instead of oak leaves and stuff. It's got rules for alchemy. It's got rules for courtly intrigue, generational play where you have children and you end up playing your children, ley lines and all just followers for high level characters, just all kinds of cool miscellaneous random optional rules that you can plug into your game. This is actually done. It's written. It's already written. I just need the Kickstarter for art and editing, and then it's ready to roll. So that'll start on the 13th. And if you can you put in the link to the watch page where you can click on the button and then you'll get notified when it goes live.
Yeah, I can actually do that.
I will actually have I will have this very book in my hot little hands at page. So if people want to look at it and then get so enraptured by it that they want to support the Kickstarter, they will be able to do so.
Ooh, Joe Hot Hands Block.
Is that one of the spells in the book, Enrapture?
No, but it's funny because I was while I was writing this, I was reading through both of the Azalin Ravenloft books because he's from Greyhawk, so I was looking for Greyhawky stuff, and I took every spell that he did in those books, and I put them in here.
Cool,
and they're like wild stuff, like destroy treasure. It'll just like destroy all the treasure within a given radius because that's something he did in the book. It was just okay. This is a spell. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff in here. There's like create demiplane, compel truth. I love this because a lot of this stuff is also made for evil characters to use, like undead and stuff. Sure. There's a spell conceal reek. So if you're dead and you want to make sure people don't know you are, it's got like a scroll of protection from sunlight, things for a vampire, things like that. So it's got all kinds of fun stuff.
Is there a way to cast control reek on some of the players? No.
Oh, I got a story about that, but I won't share it because it's not fit for
okay.
You mentioned the Azalin novels. I've only read Lord of the Necropolis, but it was so good. I thought the pacing on that was ridiculous. It felt like a excellent spy novel for like half of it, and then the ending was pretty cool. Did you ever find that one that like got away from you? That one, I think it was an Azalin novel that you just couldn't track down a copy.
Yes, I got both. There were two Azalin novels, and I got them both.
Okay.
There is still a Gord the Rogue story that eludes me.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
Because it was in a compilation done, I think, by White Wolf Games called Of Dice and Pen.
I have that book.
And there's one Gord the Rogue story in there. That's the one book I don't have. Otherwise, I have a complete thing.
Which one don't you have?
I think it's Of Dice and Pen.
Yeah, I have a copy. I think I have 2 copies of Dice and Pen.
Let us talk about this offline.
See, it's good that you showed up for this talk, Joe.
Well,
yeah,
because I have a couple of stories in that book. Is why I have a couple of copies.
I would be forever grateful if I could take one of your spares.
You would make a blood sacrifice.
I will translate them before I head to Philadelphia. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, Joe, go ahead and hold that back up, and then this right here is a link. You guys, this is a link to the watch page where you could click on it and you could say notify me on the launch. this is the link QR code to that spot for Adventures Dark and Deep, Book of Fell Wisdom. You guys go out there, click the link, and get notified when this thing launches. It's going to be awesome.
And
Hey,
and
Joe.
people say you don't have tech skills. He did that like that.
Yeah.
Are you also going to do like a live stream to launch the thing, or when like it
Well,
publishes?
there will be there. I will make a splash with it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it starts the day before I go to page.
Yes.
And I did that on purpose because I
Yeah.
wanted to be able to pump it a page.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but yeah,
So,
they'll
Joe,
definitely be.
I gotta get you back in here like I did with Ron for his
Oh,
Kickstarter.
Chris, you're making me more.
I found one of them at least.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you're fully activating hot hands.
Steven heard it.
And thanks for all these comments. The comments are like hot and heavy over here, y'all. This is really good stuff. Sorry we haven't been able to get to near as many as we'd like. But I do want to pull one up from Freezer for Joe. What do you think your overall budget for the Book of Fell Secrets is going to wind up being? Like, how much is it going to cost you to make this thing?
Well, it's all print on demand, you know, so I don't have to like have a my budgeting is completely different than most publishers because I'm not doing print runs and shipping a container from China or whatever. My budgets for these things, the writing is free because I do it. It's all a question of the art and the editing. My editing, I don't want to get into the specifics about how much I pay my editors and stuff, but
okay.
It's I between the art and the editing, I'll probably pay a couple $1,000.
Okay.
And and because and for the artists, I have a stable of artists that I've been working with forever. They know what I like, they know what I want, and I know how to, and they know, I know how to explain what I want to them, and we have a really good relationship with a bunch of people. I'm always looking for new artists who can do black and white line art in the old school style, and I mix that with stock art, so it's my art style. One of the things I do, and I do this deliberately, is in the old D&D books, they used to mix artists with radically different styles on the same page of a book. And, so you'd see Tramp on the same page as, somebody else, Sutherland, who has a completely different, but they're on the same page juxtaposed against each other. Yeah. And I try to do that in my books too, deliberately, because I want to recreate that kind of feel. That's the kind of detail I go into in terms of the physical production of my books. And it's got an orange spine. So,
yeah, gotta have an orange spine.
Gotta have an orange spine.
Blends in perfectly.
It really does. I buy a whole shelf just as I sometimes don't know where the originals end and mine begin.
So one last time, guys, that's the QR code for his new Kickstarter. Go on there and sign up for a notification. Adventures Dark and Deep, Book of Fell Wisdom, and January 13th, the day before Page. Yes.
Right. Well, the day before I leave for Page, because I have to be there early. So
I think it starts.
We're leaving on the 12th, but that's just because it's a long journey for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm flying into Philly, and then interesting. I'm gonna leave on Sunday and go to Don Hawthorne's, who's 3 hours away, probably in the same location that you live in, and we're gonna do some gaming there for a couple days, and then take off the next.
I do believe he and I have been talking about it because I want to do a face-to-face game again. But the only thing that's holding me back is I don't have a place to do it.
Yeah,
because Don's got reasons.
Don's got a 3,300 square, 3,300, square, no, 3,300 square foot gaming room at his house. It is amazing.
Wow. Bigger than my house.
Bigger than most houses. Yeah, bigger than my house.
If I could kick my wife out, I'd have a space about that large. But unfortunately, there are logistical challenges that prevent that from happening.
Well, and you like your wife. So
that's the logistical challenge of which I spoke. Yes.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, everybody on here saying looking forward to the Kickstarter. That's definitely gonna.
Thank you for pushing this. This is really helpful.
Yeah. Well, and I reserve the right to get you back on the show next week, and we'll do it again. How's that? Anyways,
That depends if I have to spend time with my wife. That's a
yeah. Well, yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that. Well, we'll figure something out. I'll push it as much as I can on my side. Speaking of Kickstarters, what's going on with Castle Wolfmoon?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but I am creating a commercial today that I'm hoping to present to the parties involved that will actually set the date. That would be the folks at Pulse. If you had checked the Kickstarter page, you'll notice it was sponsored by Pulse. And Parabellum, because they own some rights to some of the stuff that is in Castle Wolfmoon, namely the stuff that is related to Metamorphosis Alpha. Because, yeah, there is some crossover in Castle Wolfmoon. And I haven't presented them that commercial yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be in February, round about Valentine's Day. And I am going to show you the commercial ahead of time. Nobody else gets to see it until Valentine's Day.
Oh, do I get to release it?
But you'll get to see the commercial and you'll understand why. First of all, it's not released until Valentine's Day, and why we picked Valentine's Day. It's a Valentine's Day style commercial.
Okay.
Okay, I got to ask.
You know me too well, Stephen. I know.
I got to ask because I've made commercial. I have a four commercial series for Adventures Dark and Deep. So
yeah, they're awesome too.
What went into your commercial? Obviously we don't know the details, but like, do you have a cast and you did a scripts and music and whatever? Or
Joe, have you seen any of my Wisconsin workouts?
I have not.
I do mostly humor videos.
Okay.
This one would be no exception. and actually, believe it or not, my wife edits them together in Camtasia on her computer upstairs that occasionally she also uses for her government work. Yeah.
Okay, because I know Angelo and Steven have seen my ads.
Yeah.
So I'm just when you said ads, my ears perked up because I'm like, oh, what's happened? I want to know. Do I have an idea? Can I swipe an idea from you?
And you're welcome to. These are just advertising gimmicks, and of course, borrow from the best or me. But if you're not having a good time and you're employed in the games industry, you probably shouldn't be employed in the games industry because it really doesn't pay well enough if you're not having a good time.
I'm actually employed in the insurance industry, but
there you go.
That explains so much.
But it probably pays well. Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about advertising
industry, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, honey, why did you leave your real job to write games? What's wrong with you?
Since we're talking about advertisements, I once had several TV ads made for when I ran for Nashville Metro Council, and James Denham did a fantastic job with them. Gave me the friend price, and those are on my channel, I think, including the one where I'm stumping for legalizing marijuana in the state of Tennessee, because I was like on some advisory boards for the lobby groups that were doing it. Like my number one donors were members of the pot lobby. And so I was like completely owned by the pot lobby, and I was completely fine with that. I was like, I'm open about who's.
They paid you in kind. They didn't need to give you any cash.
They did give me cash. They gave me cash. They didn't give me drugs. I just want to be very clear about that. So my campaign finance reports are accurate.
We will not be checking your back seat for baggies. It's okay.
But if anybody wants to see those videos, they're the first ones on my channel, I think.
Hey, so we got a question here from Drag. It says, "What's the future?" Let me put it. What's the future of Greyhawk in 2026? And this question is about the community. Nothing official like BMG, more like BRW, TLG, and others. Who is the next major players? Again, not Vecma.
I want to know what they mean by nothing official like BMG. What have you heard? And what is, first of all, what's BMG?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by this?
Yeah.
Come on. I need
I think you're probably talking. You heard first, Steve is sponsored by a big firm. Oh, God.
Big Green.
Yeah, no, I didn't really hear.
Yeah, what is BMG? Big Mac grilled? I don't know.
I'm guessing the G is games.
BMG.
Games?
Baldwin Games.
Ah.
Well, okay, so what do you refer, Drag 347?
Baldwin Games. Yeah.
Yes, we don't know. Maybe he's asking about some of the new stuff that was talked about with Legends of Greyhawk, maybe those.
I can't.
Oh,
speak for
yes,
Steven.
that's what we're talking about. Because I actually did a video with
All in
live stream
game,
with
yeah.
them. Ballman Games is one of the 3 partners that does the official Heroes of Greyhawk stuff with Wizards of the Coast. Okay, you gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, you had them on your
Okay.
show. Yeah, you had them on your show recently. Well, a couple months ago.
Last month I had them on my show. I'm going to have them on again in January, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, Block, Menser, and Gygax.
There you
I
go.
love
There you
that.
go.
Attorneys at law.
Like Harvey Birdman all over again.
Yeah. So I guess they're asking what's I mean, you kind of talked a little bit about it a month ago with them, but what's any other?
Well, it sounds like they don't want to hear about that stuff. They want to hear about what's going on with the fan community. Who the hell knows? I will predict that 3 Orcs and other people will continue just piling on infinite amounts of detail about Hamlet, and there will just be a never-ending morass of Hamlet material that is completely over the top and will just
super uber detailed.
Yeah, I can't. It's
too much for me.
I'm out. I don't care anymore. And I don't mean to single out 3 Orcs. They were just the ones that came to mind. And there's at least 2 other folks who are just cranking out endless details about Hamlet and the Moat House and the temple and the Crown Hills. Just stop. I'm begging you. Pick another place. Find another place in Greyhawk to write about. I'm begging you. You hear me? I am begging you.
Yeah. There's so much more to Orth that that's pretty.
Can we go outside of those 4 hexes on the map behind me, please?
There's
actually 1 next,
down on
right?
Highport.
2
Believe
hexes.
me when I tell you. Yeah.
For the love of God.
I see a short. I see a short coming.
That's getting clipped.
Yeah. It's funny we talk about the community. I just had last Sunday. I had Grow Dog talk with him. I love that guy, man.
Alan's great. I've met him a bunch of times. He is such a gentleman, such a scholar. He's amazing. I remember him from the old AOL days.
Yeah. He's been around with the Greyhawk scene for quite some time. I just did about an hour and 15-minute video with him, and we kind of dove into some aspects of Greyhawk, and that's really was the focus of our combo. And he just kind of outlined so much stuff happening in the community where Visions of Greyhawk is releasing another issue here. He's got an article in there, but just talking about Cannon Fire and how, I mean, that's what makes Greyhawk so great. It's the community. It's not, the WotC books that comes out every now and then, or it's not the, this or that. It's the community. It's the community's perspective on the world. And I love that I can just take this, and this, and this is my canon. You know what I mean? It's my
dueling command spells. It's,
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else in the fan community, but I've got at least 2 Greyhawk books. Well, 3, 8
and a couple coming.
Greyhawk books in process.
Yeah.
One it is much more in process than the rest. It's a gazetteer for the Sundered Empire, which was the setting for the Chainmail 2001 game, and it's on the far western coast of Orc. I've got a gazetteer well underway on that. I've got a bunch of stuff in process for myself, for 5e or 1e, depending on the project. So, my 1e stuff is Greyheim Adventures. My 5e stuff is Greyhawk. So it's just the way the cookie crumbles. But, there's the fan community is undergoing a renaissance because of it opening up on DM's Guild, and I'm expecting a ton of new material next year. Hopefully not in the Crown Hills.
Yeah. And your Adventures Dark and Deep stuff is easily ported into the world of Greyhawk. I mean, as far as I mean, I'm a 1E player. I play AD&D and my own version of it, and you can pull, I mean, Adventures Dark and Deep into any. I mean, it's easily ported into old school D&D. Some of the classes, the way you do the bard, skills, all that stuff. So it's pretty
well. The skills to come back to the Troll Lord Games thing. The skill system in Adventures Dark and Deep is based on the skill system Gary wrote for Castles and Crusades.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I took the basic idea. You
Yeah.
spend XP to get skills.
Yeah.
And I just kind of really ran with it and expanded it out. And you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with it. But that essential idea came from Gary, which
he fell in love with that in the later years. Legendary Adventure is very skill based. The entire system is.
Yeah.
And he didn't want 500 skills like I don't know, GURPS, if I can say that and not get Steve mad at me.
I think you're underestimating the number of skills in GURPS.
Well,
God.
Anything, if Gary worked on it and it's got skills, it's maybe got 50 skills. That's it, maybe. And a lot of them have fewer than 50, but they're also very broad based. There is no, I know how to use a wooden toothpick skill versus a steel toothpick skill. No.
But Gary's skills would have like 95 modifiers and
sure.
And each would have like 3 tables.
I laid out all those Legendary Adventure books. I had to do the layouts on. So yeah, I know.
I used a lot of that as inspiration for Adventures Dark and Deep. I was combing through, for my Jester class. I was looking at I forget what he calls it, but there's a Jester skill essentially, and I was looking for inspiration from Gary's original stuff to use in the thing. Okay, I gotta. Somebody mentioned Stranger Things in there for a second.
Oh God!
No. This was actually really cool. They said that they were using plastic minis in Stranger Things. The one that I identified, and I'm like slapping my wife. I have that miniature. I have that one upstairs. It's the Paladin from the old Grenadier box set, from the gold box, with the Paladin with the shield, and he's got the sword like this.
Yep.
That's the one that the one kid hands to the other kid. And I'm like, I have that upstairs, honey. And I actually went upstairs and grabbed it and came down and showed her. She cared not. She
nerding out. Nerding
No,
out.
that's not the right one.
No,
he's got it in a stabbing.
It's the one where he's got the sword coming like this.
Yeah, to stab.
Oh, the one with this. Yeah, I have that one too. It's not.
I got a couple of them, and I'm like, honey, I've got that one. It's real. So yeah, they
don't
actually
slap her when you say that. Because I married a lawyer, and I can't. No slapping. No.
So you described how the Greyhawk community is so supportive of the line, keeping the game alive, and that bounces off one of the questions that Freezer had that I liked, and he's made a couple comments like this so far in this chat about the sheer amount of different games coming out, different rule systems coming out, and I think one of the problems with that is that so much of it seems to be fire and forget, like. Here's my oversaturated color with ridiculous art rule book, and I'm never going to put out a module for it. And that's my main gripe with games like that. You put it out there and you give it no legs to go with. And I'd like to hear y'all's opinion on it, because at least 2 of y'all have quite a track record putting out game material. And then I got a follow up for Joe, because I heard you go on a rant about all these fancy coffee table books that have been coming out lately.
Well,
what do you gentlemen think about that? What are we going to see more of?
I'm going to talk for like 10 minutes on this. So you guys get your.
Go ahead, please.
As you know, Lance, for instance, which is the most recent of my role playing games, I've already got 3. What do you want to call those?
Adventures,
reference books out on, and I don't mean rules books. They're okay. I'm old now, and I'm forgetting words in my and I'm not even
the word is
no but I did it a little bit backwards, because usually we don't do core material, or not core material, but supportive material in terms of the overall books. We do the adventures first to try and get people in. And you'd laugh. I tried to explain this when I was at Eldritch to the guys. No, we each do 4 adventures, And then we do a world book that covers the 4 adventures, because by then the people are already invested in that world and those books will sell. And oh no, that's not how you do it. Yeah, okay. I still own my company. You guys? Oh no, never mind.
Got Daddy.
Violence.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr. Clark, it's a bitter and spiky pill. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I whipped those guys as much as I could, at least, to get modules out the door first, to get people invested in the storylines. I have luckily recently run into somebody who actually wants to make storylines for Inner City, which was originally designed to just be a self-generating game, which I think it was a pretty good self-generating game. But he's right. There's room for some storylines here.
yeah. Yeah, there is. Absolutely. Who doesn't want to play all that? Any crime drama you can think of, comedy, serious, whatever, you can play it in Inner City. Why not? Why not help people do it?
Lance was made because I wanted to play The Expanse, and I didn't find a system out there that I thought really fit it. So yeah.
Isn't there an Expanse RPG?
Oh, there is now.
Now.
I started working on Lance in 2012, I think. So yeah, there wasn't then. No.
Does anybody know who made the? If anybody that's watching, who made the Expanse game? Put it in the comments.
Yeah, please. And from what I've heard, it's actually pretty well done. So
yeah, it looks beautiful. Here we go. I might have.
Wait, aren't we still talking about?
Please. Sorry, God. Stop!
Joe, lay it on us, Joe.
No, go.
No, you guys. I still haven't heard from Steven or Angelo on the topic.
The basic issue is I don't need another rule book. I need more stuff to do.
Settings books. That's what I think of.
I love settings books. Books are because you could take a setting book and attach it to whatever rule system you're using, and you're going to be fine. Because there's few rule books that are so compelling that I'm like, man, I'm glad I bought this one product, and that's all this publisher's ever going to put out. And I mean, not many of them are like that. Like Inner City, yes, you can play that in perpetuity with one book. Not everything's written like that. And then there's a point where I think that RPG books, as many things, should only be so good looking before it gets to be too much. It's too over the top. Like video games, I think they should only be so good looking before it becomes like, what the hell is this? There's a such thing as overwrought.
Yeah,
and it applies in so many different categories. Like the newest edition of Vampire, I think, is like the worst about this, because they appear to be intentionally designed to be coffee table books because they're huge, and then you start flipping through them and there's like 20 words on a page and there's massive margins. Half the page is art, and it's shitty art, but it's super saturated with color. It looks like paper dolls. It literally looks like that, and someone's paying these people to put that in there, and it's awful. And then the game sucks.
I like the original Vampire the Masquerade. I thought that was very well done.
Oh,
I know you're talking about the new one. Yeah.
No, I'm still playing Vampire First Edition because it's fun. It's a mess, but it's fun, and that's the key. The rules don't have to be perfect, but the game that they inspire has to be enjoyable. So for the rules lawyers out there,
comment, Matt.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. And which Matt? We got some great Matts.
Matthew Archibald 3030. He's been digging on poor Luke all night. I'll tell you.
My boy Archie. Yeah. Well, Luke deserves it.
I have no comment.
Luke has never been
Green
anything
Ronin
nice to
that
me,
did
and I like
Expanse.
Green Ronin did the Expanse. Okay.
Yeah.
So
all right, Joe.
Back in the day,
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
We used to call these fantasy heartbreakers, and there were like from like 1979 through 1985. There were so many of these things that just some college kid would sneak into the photocopy center on campus and run off 50 of these staple bound things, and all of a sudden he was an RPG publisher and he put an ad in Dragon, and my God. So yeah, this is not a new phenomenon that people are just blurting out. They need some means of expression of their creativity, and they just throw it out in the void. Some people wrote articles for Alorums and Excursions. Some people made their own RPG companies that didn't last long enough to get reported to the IRS. So, this is not new.
Joe, do you remember? It's just like D&D, only better.
Oh God. And but the new crop of these things, to me, I'm not even sure overwrought is the word. I think they're more style over substance, because the way I would measure it is, can I play this game without the book?
Yeah.
If I just had a text file with just the words in your book, is it worth anything? If you published, because a lot of publishers, will do an art-free version of their book so people can take the PDF and print it out. If you do that, is it worth anything? Or is the physical layout of your pages so integral to the play of the game that you literally can't play the game with just the words?
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want a game that is words that I can read and interpret. I would rather have a paragraph than 20 words on a page with huge margins and oversaturated art. Because, here you have, it's all on one page. Everything you need is on one page. Maybe I need more than that. Maybe I need more than those 20 words. Yeah. So I honestly, I am not a fan of the modern, and I know they sell, these are the people making $1 million on Kickstarter. And I'm lucky if I pass 20.
Crazy.
20,000. I know that. I know I'm the minority. I don't care.
Yeah.
I know what I like, and I write and design for what I like.
Yeah.
My ideal customer is me. And I look at something when I write it, and then when I design it, I say, would I buy this?
Yeah.
And I look at it, and I have clean 2-column layout with straight edges on both sides, and justified text and everything. Yep. That's what I want. That's all I want. I don't want huge background images of faded pages of vellum, and with fancy borders and fancy fluff generated.
Joe, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Indent on the paragraph or a hard return line?
Both.
Oh, we both win.
He goes both ways.
It's a win. Win-win. I had to think about it though when you said.
You just reminded me of something.
What do I do? Because I have an indent on the paragraph, but I also have an extra couple of points in between the paragraph. And now all my pages.
But let me jump in before you get too far in. I'm sorry, you're talking about the pages. Finish the pages bit.
On my new books, I've upped the font size because I was finding that all the stuff that I wrote 10 years ago, I can't read anymore. So I've literally increased the font size on my own books so I can read them. It's not like they're big print books, but they're not 9-point.
Oh no.
Books either. I'm at 11 now.
Steven. No. I use 11.
So okay.
There's a reason why I like what Chris does in his books. I can read it easy, and that makes it more accessible to more people because they don't get as intimidated by just a tiny font on the page, and it's like wall of text effect. The wall of text effect is real, but counter to that, I recently saw a thought piece video by Chubby Funster.
We had a super chat. So.
And
keep talking.
Oh yeah, Agile Monk. Yeah, you the man. And I'm in his minority too. I like Joe's style. But I was watching Chubby Funster talk about the new Dolmenwood stuff, and he was trying to talk or he was talking something about some big cognitive load in role playing games and giving the DM what they need to know when they need to do it to optimize their ability to run and process the game. And he was showing on the screen the Dolmenwood setup, and I hated what I saw. I mean, the art might be ridiculous, it might be beautiful, whatever, but plenty more people give that publisher money than have ever given me money. Don't listen to me for professional advice. But when I was looking at like the room description in the dungeon, he gave me the Lego pieces of the room and didn't put them together. So it would actually take me more work to look at the bullet points and fragments of sentences to understand what he's trying to tell me this room is in the first place, let alone me communicate it to somebody. And then me and Chubby got in an argument in the comments because I was like, this is where a good piece of block text describing what this thing looks like gives you a good starting point. Because say the players come by the route that you anticipate them coming, this works. If they come by a different route, you have a frame of reference to tailor it to where they're coming from. And I think I surprised him in that I didn't jump on the bandwagon of I'm just going to deep throat every bullet pointed OSE book out there because it was ingredients for a room, but it wasn't a room. Well, I'll do it because I ain't got any reputation.
I'm going to push back a little bit on the box text because I'm not a fan of the box text that you're just supposed to read out. What I do like to do, my room descriptions are description for a couple of sentences for the DM, then the monster stats, then what the players can find once they fight once the monsters are dealt with. Yeah. So you got to read 2 sentences, then you know what happens if there's if the encounter roll goes wrong, and then what happens after the encounter. Like. Oh, and they have this, and there's this, this secret thing, but all you need are 2 or 3 sentences of, this is what the room looks like, this is what you see immediately, and then here's the monsters. But I don't like I don't want to have to parse the box text and then reframe it for a new situation. I want to just give them here's the basics. It's not bullet points, it's actual set English sentences, but. It still gives you the necessary information, but it's not so reductive that you have to figure out what the hell they're talking about. It's not the Lego blocks, but it's also not a ship in a bottle.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just made that up. I like that.
Gotcha. That's not bad. That's a good way of putting it. But yeah, the Lego blocks, I was not a fan of that. In the slightest. So, but we do have somebody that is a bullet point guy. Well,
I got to ask, how old are you, Shellbackbow? I think that might be relevant.
Oh,
no, not in a bad way. I'm just saying, I think it might be a generational thing.
No, I think it's an insightful thing. Yeah, like, is it an attention span thing? Like, is it a reading comprehension thing? Because like. After the phonics generation, literacy rates haven't done well.
Yeah, like if you can't read cursive, you're not going to do well with a paragraph of type text either.
Yeah.
No, you can't, and it's not. I'm not digging on the people that
it's really not
the situation.
It's literally just our generation was trained to process text a certain way, and younger generations aren't.
Yeah,
like. Books.
Well, and actually, if you get a lot of your news off the internet, I do, for instance, all the news is bullet pointed. So it forms that habit.
But at the end of the day, whatever pros or cons there are, if I pay money for your product, I want you to tell me what the room actually looks like and what's in it, and not give me ingredients.
I don't know if you've got any of my stuff yet. You probably do. I mean, beyond ICR, but when I do adventures,
I've read like
there's also a little
Yeah.
a little italics thing. He says, by the way, if they're sensing arcane powers, that you want to add this. And by the way, if they're sensing holy powers, you want to add this. Oh, and by the way, if they can see invisible
Yep.
objects, you want to add this. You know, and
No,
well,
your stuff's well
mostly
set up.
because I
Easy to
don't want
follow.
them to have to intuit that. You know, I don't want this to be some poor 12-year-old kid's first adventure and he gets lost because he doesn't understand, having 12 adventures behind him, how to run that adventure.
On the other hand, you don't want to go overboard with that because you don't want to have to do that for every room.
I do it for every room.
Really?
And the amazing thing is, people say, well, then you got to charge a fortune for that 700-page module. Believe it or not, the page count really doesn't have a huge impact on the module price. It really doesn't. And I print them the same way you do, Joe, just in time. And yes, we pay a little more when there's more pages. I don't pass that cost to the customer. If it's a $15 module, it's a $15 module,
Since you mentioned cost, I think some of these art books that are being put out these days that are masquerading as role-playing games, I think part of it might be to drive up the price, because it seems like there's a floor of $50 for any of these things, and they'll go way up
you the
above
difference
that.
when we were looking at various aspects. Yes, and it's enormous between a colorful bleed, and a black and white. Oh my God! Yeah.
No, that's an enormous amount of difference.
Yes.
Yeah. Like my Greyhawk books, they're just the same price as my Adventures Dark and Deep books, but I have to ask $20 more for them because color costs more.
Yeah,
it's just the printing of it. It's,
well, and lately a lot more. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And my Greyhawk books have to be
Jeffrey,
color, they're 5th edition, and that's what people expect.
Jeffrey over here throwing elbows about writing in cursive in the Cleric's Challenge 2, which I'm working on the review of. There's 3 handouts, and I believe all 3 are in cursive or like cursive adjacent.
What are these curious runes?
Yes,
I write in cursive. So,
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Guess what I found in the office today, guys?
Is that my copy? That's my copy,
that
right?
Is the very first printed off, as you mentioned, a photocopy machine when I was 17 in high school. Copy of Inner City. There's like 4 of these in existence. I mean,
Hang on, let me get this here. Hang on.
Why there was one at the bottom of a pile in my office, I don't know, but yeah. And these used to be $3. Holy cow!
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let's hold it up. Hold it in front of the camera. Oh, look at that.
I think if you account for inflation, that's like $48 nowadays.
There are folks that would probably pay, portions of their body that are unrecoverable for that. But I'm not one of those.
That's guys. My copy, right? Is that my copy?
Yeah, sure.
I actually still have one copy of. I wrote a game back in college, and I have one copy. It was it was I somewhere back there I have it. It was a play-by-mail science fiction role-playing game.
Oh my God!
Oh, cool.
And it was called Sail the Solar Winds. And I still have that one I still want to turn it into like a real role-playing game. But I ran it because I was deep into play-by-mail back in college and high school. And I played Star Master and Tribes of Crane and Beyond the Stellar Empire and all those things. I was huge into it. And I actually worked for the George Lloyd, who did Star Master. I worked for him when he got the game back from Schubel and Son for a while, and I was huge into it. And I still have the one copy of the rules that, as far as I know, are still in existence for my role playing my play-by-mail game that lasted for about 2 years.
Do you still like the game? I was going to say you could run it online.
Yeah, no, that's why I have the name. I still have Adventures, sailthesolarwinds.com. I own it, but it would be a completely new game. The only thing I would keep.
The copy of the rules you have, Stephen, are a whole lot better than this, believe me. Yeah.
The only thing I would, and to this day, 40 years later, I remember this. There was like this alien race of insects that were just rapacious, and they instant attack, and they were called the Marik Cog, and That's the only thing I remember about the game. It's just that one name. I
Okay.
love that name so much that I remembered it after all these years. But yeah, coming eventually to a table near you. Sail the Solar Winds, the sci-fi RPG.
What?
I got you. Well, it looks like we got to the bottom of Shellback's age. He's 38. So what's that? A millennial, and he likes he does like reading paragraphs for narratives, but bullet points for information. Okay, I got you. I got you. Oh, it's good to know different perspectives where people are coming from.
Yeah, that's great.
And there's different ways of approaching it. Some people love it, some people hate it. And what's the right balance? Should you even try to balance it? These are all design considerations. So if you're out there thinking of making a game or writing something, then these are questions you need to ask yourself and think of what's the audience I'm aiming at to give this to? How are they going to best receive it? And it's a lot. There's a whole lot that goes into this. I'm sure both of these guys with more gray hair than me can tell you all about that.
Can I give my opinion on it?
Yeah, go.
Well, and Shellback, I don't write anything by hand anymore at all because nobody could read it. My handwriting is just atrocious. If you ever stopped asking me to sign something, you'd be like, "Oh my God, dude, what are you, 3?" It's terrible.
Oh, when I try to sign something like on an electronic screen, it's just blah, blah. But yeah, what I lost during my time in the Air Force was I lost my ability not to curse. Because I went to basic training, and by the time I came out of basic training, first I sounded like I came from South Carolina because everybody in my flight was from the South. So just out of the blue, one day I said, "What are you all fixing to do?" What?
Yes,
Came out
one of us.
my mouth
One of
just
us.
now.
One of us.
And
one of us.
But fortunately, that left me. But yeah, but I never lost the taste for cursing after basic. It was just every other word.
Not cursive, but cursing.
Curse. I can curse in cursive too.
All right.
I mean, it's funny. If I'm on the
T-shirt
phone, I
check.
open a notepad file and just click the keys. I mean, yeah.
It's funny is every
saw
other word I
Angelo
usually say is a
showing
curse
off the
word,
Goonies
and I've
shirt.
been very tame on live streams and
That's what the ums are for.
Beefcake.
yeah. Instead of every
bleeping yourself with the ums.
if you watch any of my videos, guys, and you hear an it's just my normal way of saying the F word. So replace it with the F word.
Yeah, please don't, because I've monetized this, so don't get me don't get me a strike.
There used to be a free roleplay game
got...
on Google called Play Some Effing Dandy. Yeah, it was actually, you could download the rules; they were free. Yeah, but it was D&D with curse words.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so we got Goonies over there. We got Transformers with
it's a company
Decepticon
shirt.
there.
Yeah, that's
just a logo.
And this is Shockwave.
We got
Shockwave is
logo.
objectively the coolest of the
Transformer of the Decepticons. Yeah.
Agreed. And then I'm rocking Retake Constantinople.
I have been thinking on a new Transformers game, but it's about farm tools in disguise. See, Transformers, farm tools.
Oh, I think there's an app, and it's a wildly different subject than what you're talking
into a
about.
pitchfork.
I'm begging you.
Oh my goodness!
Love of God.
No, okay.
Well,
on that note,
yes.
Are we done?
We've gone for almost 2 hours. I think
we have. I think this is a good stopping point. What do you guys think?
I think we're way past
the good warm up.
Okay.
I think there's one bullet point that we missed for the bullet point lovers, but I think we'll get it next time. Yeah.
Thanks, Angelo. Yeah, it was great. And it was good hanging out with you two gents, too.
Just to wrap this up really quick.
What do we got con-wise? After Paige, who's going to what?
My next one after that's North Texas.
I'll be at North Texas.
Yep, I'll be in North Texas.
Oh, good God. We gotta do a thing.
Yeah, we definitely. Steven will be at North Texas.
Not like naked in the pool.
Let's do it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm also going to WizardCon, and I'm going to Long Island Tabletop Expo.
Yep.
And I'm going to Central New York, and I'm going to ShireCon. in Connecticut.
Yeah,
I
you
know
got-
I've got
you got a
one more, and I
whole
can't
load.
remember what it is.
I'm not headed for WizardCon this year, although it is a fantastic con. Don is a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
I am so busy this year, Joe. Oh my god. And I don't get as much done in a day as I once did. I just don't.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Although, working with Gary, that SOB could crank out 25,000 words a day. Yeah. Just unbelievable volume from him. But anyway. Yeah.
Angelo, Steven, what are you doing con-wise?
Well, I'll start. Okay. So I have a page coming up. Obviously, we've talked about that. And then shortly after that in Los Angeles, I'll be going to Strategicon, which is a convention that is
The
3 times
Wargaming.
a year.
Wargaming Con, right?
Yeah.
It was. Now it's it turned into there's a very big cosplay presence, and there was a huge LARPing presence for a while, and then. But yeah, it's a huge, the hall for the miniatures. HMGS is there. I'm running some HMGS games. Boot Hill is what I'm doing under the guise of HMGS. But there's a lot of cool stuff. It's a really good con. I try to go 2 or 3 times a year, but I'll be taking a drive out there, bringing all my Boot Hill props and buildings and stuff. And I'll probably, show at some point, but be doing that. And then after that, I think my next one is North Texas and then EggCon. So I will be missing Historicon. Joe, of course, we've talked about that.
Oh, yeah, I'll be at Historicon, but I'll be just playing. So.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't register as just a con. It's a vacation.
Yeah, I mean that was fun. So those of you guys that don't know, it was my first time last year at Historicon, and I got to game with Joe. He ran some Ogre, which was amazing. Which actually I hadn't played Ogre in I don't know forever. So you run a really good Ogre game. So that was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna be running a massive Ogre game at Historicon this year.
Yeah, I think we had 4 players. It was I think I was the first player to die. But I think after that, I'm not sure. But that's my con schedule. And then Strategicon will come in there again, probably Labor Day weekend. So yeah, that's me. Next, Steven.
Yeah, Shellback, Deus Volt, that's right. And everybody should play On Guard at page 3 with Archie running it. Now, we're looking at North Texas in June, and probably in September, I'm going to be doing one of 2 things. Either I'm going to be checking out one of the newer cons in like Central Florida, or I'm going to be taking the wife to Hungary for a trip we've been meaning to take for years, and then just life and geopolitics keeps getting in the way. But something good's going to happen.
I'm actually going to the UK. My wife is insisting that we're going there for my 60th birthday. So
when is that?
Hell yeah.
September, October. I don't remember the exact dates, but it's the fall.
The fall. Oh, nice. Okay. And you've been to the UK?
And
never. I've never been to the UK. So this is, and I'm a huge file. So this is gonna be great. You
flying into London, or where are you?
I believe so. Yeah, I think
probably
going from Newark to Heathrow, and then we've got it's a package tour thing, so we're going from cities.
That's awesome.
So we're spending a couple days in London, and then we're going out and about, and we're going up to Scotland and York and Edinburgh. So it's a whole big deal. It's going to be a hoot, And hey, if I can arrange a pub night with somebody or some somebody's, if we can make the schedule work, I will be more than happy to do a mini Greyhawk Grognard con. So
that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yes.
Oh, and while he has departed already from the chat, Matt Sherman's got a birthday coming up, and that's a cool guy.
How many days do we have left?
Matt. I think he says for Matt Sherman. Well, it's going to be the date that Joe's next Kickstarter
yes, he mentioned
drops.
that
is
his birthday, the 13th.
That is the perfect birthday gift.
Yeah.
There's a question really quick, Joe, if you want to answer that regarding Blackmore being in the northern region of Greyhawk.
Dude, that is an entire video unto itself.
Yes.
A few videos. I think I've seen you
come
talk
up more than
about
once, and it is a very large and expansive topic. I cannot possibly after this many beers. In
Got
any
him.
kind of comprehensive fashion.
He's had 31 silver bullets, so he's starting to be effective.
Yeah, if you have a video on it, go back and look. There should be. I think you did cover this before too.
It's very possible.
Yeah,
I've been doing this for so long. I forget. I forget what videos I've done. I drop a video and I realize, oh yeah, I did that 5 years ago. It's a fresh take.
All right, Joe.
All right, you guys, we're gonna close down.
Well, it's been a great time.
I think I'm just gonna give a shameless plug to all of the channels that are associated on here. Please, you guys, go see Stephen Clement's channel on YouTube, where he talks all kinds of stuff, gaming, does reviews, and reads on books and show reviews and all kinds of cool stuff. And then we have Greyhawk Grognard here, Joe Block, who just did the salute, and he is a massive name in the Greyhawk world. If you want to know anything Greyhawk, he probably has a video on it. I must admit, I am a lover of Greyhawk, and I know enough to be dangerous, but I ask Joe stuff when I don't know it. So I admit it. Dang it. I'm supposed to know everything, but I don't. But, and then please check out my channel. It's only, I don't know, 4 months old. It's called the DM and Friends, where I like to talk about the community, friendship, and I also just I'm kind of finalizing a whole series behind how to be a better dungeon master, and I hope that really I'm getting a lot of great feedback on it. It's super cool. Go in there and you'll find some tips about being a better dungeon master. And then we have the one and only Chris Clark here, Inner City Games Design.
I'm just busy writing stuff. Yeah.
You can just Google his name. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but he has an online presence that spans a huge website of games, and more games, and more games. And let me finish. And games, and more games, and games. So,
but I want them also to watch my Wisconsin workouts. So.
Okay, and Google Wisconsin workout.
Yeah.
But click the one on the right, not the one on the left. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for jumping on here. This was so much fun. Does anybody want to say any parting words?
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
All right, you guys. God bless. Take
2026 is
care.
ours.
And keep gaming. All right, you guys.